Captain Charisma returned on Wednesday night, but unfortunately, Dynamite wasn't an instant classic. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. It's me, Son of Scotland 90. I haven't made a video on this channel in about a week, probably well over a week, and truth be told, I have been feeling pretty sick, and I thought, you know what better medicine than to sit down and watch some AEW, because surely when you're not feeling well, AEW is the ticket, AEW is the cure, AEW is what will make everything alright. But no, I can confirm that I still feel sick, and I can confirm that this show was absolutely shit, but I am here to review it, so I'm going to do that to the best of my abilities. Probably be a few coughs throughout the review, but you know what, deal with it. I had to deal with watching this crap, so yeah. We kick off with we see a show, a graphic, a tribute to the late great Jerry Jarrett, who passed away yesterday, so yeah, rest in peace to Jerry Jarrett. Don't really know much about Jerry Jarrett. I know that he is the father of Jeff Jarrett, but apart from that, I don't really have much to say about the guy. But you know what, regardless, rest in peace. Then we get the we get match one: Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, Jeff Jarrett, and Satnam Singh. If Satnam sounds like a fucking satnav, I wish he would just throw the satnav in the bin and get lost, because the guy absolutely sucks. Then we get, it was those four versus Orange Cassidy, The Acclaimed, and Daddy Ass, and we get this just a throwaway match, really. There's this spell where they're trying to do this scissoring move on Sanjay Dutt, and it just looks so fucking gay, man. Eventually, Bones gets back in, he does this scissor me timbers. It looks like a low blow, but apparently it's not, and the referee just counts the three, so I'm not too sure what Audrey Edwards is all about. Maybe she identifies as an alien, and she doesn't know what genitalia is, but for me it looked like this move fucking definitely hit Sanjay Dutt low of the belt, south of the border, so this should have been a DQ in my opinion, but no, Audrey Edwards, fuck knows what she is, but she didn't give it as a DQ. She counted the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, a win for The Acclaimed. Not really surprised. Maybe I thought they might give Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett a win, considering his dad passed away, but no, it was a win for The Acclaimed and their team. So then we get Bryan Danielson. He says he knows MJF is scared. Texas Tornado tag match. It's Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli versus Rush and Preston fans. Again, no surprise here who's going to win this one. Are we really supposed to look at these two tag teams and think, God, I don't know who's going to win this match. This is a real 50-50 match. There's nothing 50-50 about this. I mean, Jon Moxley has barely lost a match since he's been in AEW, and then you've got Claudio Castagnoli, who over the past year has gotten a pretty big push. So these two were just never going to lose to Rush and Preston fans. This Preston fans guy's done absolutely nothing since turning his back on the Dark Order to team up with Rush. It's like, what a waste of time. They have this Texas Tornado tag match. There's people bleeding. I mean, like, and who cares? Like, what's the point? Why are they even having this match? Why is this feud? Why is that Texas Tornado tag match? I mean, why do these two teams not like it? Where is the story? Honestly, why does Moxley give a shit about Rush or Preston fans? I don't get it. But anyway, Moxley, he gets like a straight armbar where he chokes him out with something. I don't know if it was belt or a chain or some shit like that. So he gets the submission there. But overall, man, wasn't really great. We then get Josh Woods with Smart Mark Sterling and Tony Nese versus Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe picks up the win, and Mark Briscoe is now 2-0 in AEW. And I've heard AEW fanboys claim that, Tony Khan loved the Briscoe brothers, and Tony Khan would have done anything to get the Briscoe brothers in AEW, but he couldn't because they weren't allowed to be on TV because of past comments, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's funny now that one of them's passed away. All of a sudden, Mark Briscoe's been on Dynamite. He's been on Rampage. He's got a 2-0 streak. It's almost as if Tony Khan could have got them on if he really wanted to, but he just didn't because he didn't think they were any good. But now one of them's dead. It's almost like he wants to try and take advantage of that and virtue signal, and to just say, "Oh, look, your brother's dead. I'm going to push you. I'm going to look like a good guy. I'm giving this guy an opportunity. I'm showcasing this guy on TV." That's what it looks like to me. So yeah, a bit of a surprise there. No, as soon as one of them's gone, and I thought maybe it would just be for the tribute show, but it looks like Mark Briscoe is now an actual member of All Elite Wrestling. So this just goes to show that if Tony, there's no ifs or buts about it. If Tony Khan wanted the Briscoe brothers before, he could have had them. Forget about Disney or this or that or past comments. If Tony Khan wanted these guys bad enough, he could have had them on AEW. The fact is, he didn't, and now he's taking advantage of a shitty situation. That's what it seems like to me. So, it is what it is, man. Won't be the first time that's happened in wrestling, and I'm sure it won't be the last. But yeah, Mark Briscoe wins. That's him 2-0 now. Is Mark Briscoe going anywhere? Honestly, he shouldn't, because the guy sucks. If we're being honest, man, there's no value to this guy as a singles guy. Just looks like a fucking meth head. So yeah, I'm going to give him a couple of wins. I don't know, but long term, the guy's just destined to be a jobber on Rampage, isn't he? Adam Cole joins Renee Paquet for a sit-down interview. Cole says he wants to celebrate many victories, like his right eye can actually focus, or he doesn't want to throw up several times a day. Cole doesn't want to discuss or disclose what's next for him, but he's happy to be as close as he is. So basically, Cole's saying he's almost back. He's going to be in the ring again soon. Who cares? MJF is here. He comes out. He welcomes out Christopher Daniels. He says Christopher Daniels is going to spill the beans and tell us all the person that Bryan Danielson really is. Then Danielson gets in the ring and he says that he's known Daniel Bryan for a lot of years. He's known him for a long time, like over 20 years to be exact. And he says that he was paid a lot of money by MJF tonight to say bad things about Bryan Danielson, and a while ago he would have took this money and accepted that, but he's not that guy anymore. He's not here to badmouth Bryan Danielson, and he says that Bryan Danielson is one of the best wrestlers in the world, and he says MJF is a fraud who's going to get out-wrestled because he is a fraud. MJF doesn't like this. He slaps the mic out of Daniel's hands. Daniel slaps MJF in the face, and MJF, with his patented low blow, kicks Daniel in the nuts. Then he locks in his finisher. I believe it's called the Salt of the Earth. He's got Christopher Daniels in the submission. Daniels is tapping out, but then boom, Bryan Danielson comes out to the ring. He makes the save, and then we see MJF run away. And then Bryan Danielson and Christopher Daniels embrace. I mean, boring, honest to fuck, boring as fuck. MJF must be, I would actually go out on, I would say he is the worst AEW champion of all time. And there was a time in AEW where I actually really liked MJF. I thought the guy was good, but I think maybe they waited too long to pull the trigger on him, or maybe they should have experimented and gave him another belt. I think this is his first belt that he's won in AEW, but for me, the guy was really, really good, and now he's just kind of went backwards in his career, and by now it's like the same shite, man. The guy just, I feel like every promo's the fucking same. He always just sits to try and be edgy, and like, I don't know, man. I just don't really like the guy. Fuck MJF, man. Fuck him. Anyway, Christ. Where are we now? Yeah, so Jungle Boy takes on Brian Cage. I'll forever know Brian Cage is the guy that came out with the cheap Terminator, the cheap Terminator costume in Impact Wrestling. I mean, that was atrocious. But he comes out, he takes on He takes on Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy wins. Jungle Boy hits this cradle for a free count. Blah, blah, blah. Short and sweet. Jungle Boy wins. Brian Cage loses again. What can you say about Brian Cage? I mean, he's a big guy. You know, he from a physical standpoint, he kind of looks similar to like Wardlow. So you could maybe think, well, why is he not getting the same sort of push as a Wardlow is? But nah, man, Brian Cage is he's just a fucking jobber at the end of the day, isn't he? I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe he's not that interesting on the mic. But from a physical standpoint, looking at him, you know, he looks pretty similar to Wardlow. But nah. Anyway, Christian Cage music hits. He comes to the top of the ramp. He's got his arm in a brace. Jungle Boy. Is it Jungle Boy? It is Jungle Boy, yeah. Jungle Boy turns round, he runs up the ramp. Christian sprays something in his eyes. And then Christian gets him and takes his armband off, or his arm brace off, or elbow brace, whatever you want to call it. And then he locks him in like a chokehold. So, yeah, that was that, really. Christian back. I'm glad to see Christian back, but at the end of the day, we all know he's probably just going to lose this feud to Jungle Boy, then go absolutely nowhere. In my opinion, if you've got Christian Cage capable, if Christian Cage can still go in the ring, you've got to make him the champ, man. Christian is one of the most underrated world champions of all time. If this guy can still go, then you put the fucking belt on him. Promos alone, this guy will make the show watchable. This guy actually knows how to wrestle. He's not like a spot monkey. He's not like a, you know, just a workhorse. This guy can actually wrestle good matches. So put the belt on Christian. And just let Christian be himself. Let him be Captain Charisma, the instant classic. I mean, you look at the guy in WWE, or you look at the guy in TNA. He was great, you know. And it's just a shame that he was never really given that massive push, you know. I mean, at a time, I guess he kind of was in TNA, but then it kind of got cut short because they brought in bigger stars, you know, like Kurt Angle came in, and then more ex-WWE guys came in, and it's like in WWE he was kind of always under Edge's shadow, and then he broke away from Edge, and then he kind of teamed up with Jericho, and he was kind of in Jericho's shadow, and then as soon as he broke away from Jericho, man, the guy looked $1 million, the guy looked great. So I think if you look at, I would say from about 2004, 2005, I mean, what those 2 years in Christian's career, man, I'd say probably his best 2 years of the guy's career, man. And if he can replicate anything similar to that in AEW, then you got to let him have it, and you've got to let him be the champ. But yeah, looking forward to see what Christian does here in AEW. Then we get Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford versus Hangman Page, and yeah, I mean, Hangman Page wins. Was anyone surprised here? Come on. Fuck me. Hangman Page beats Kip Sabian. Wow. Kip Sabian. This guy used to sit in the crowd with a fucking cardboard box over his head. How is he supposed to beat Hangman Page, you know? Like, he's not. He's just not. It's a stupid match, man. Throwaway match. The Blackpool Combat Club come out. Moxley says Page thinks they have unfinished business, but they don't. Moxley says he's a lot of respect for Page, but zero fear for him. He says there's no chance Page will ever beat Moxley, and the crowd seem to agree with Moxley. But Page doesn't think this feud should end with a roll-up. Page says the match ends when only one man is left standing. This ends at Revolution. Moxley says he was hoping that it was the way it ended, but the emo cowboy doesn't have any friends, so I don't know what this is all about. And then the Dark Order come out. Evil Uno tells Page to get out of his face. He says he's heard enough talk from Moxley. Evil Uno says that they've had his back since day one. Evil Uno slaps Moxley. Moxley doesn't even respond to Evil Uno. He just walks up to Adam Page and he says, Texas Deathmatch at Revolution. So it's like, what the fuck is this, you know? He just ignored Evil Uno slapping him. It's like, what are you doing? This stupid gimp in a mask has just slapped you and you've just ignored it. Didn't make much sense to me, but yeah, that's what happened. So, yeah, Texas Deathmatch at Revolution. I take it they're trying to build up this Revolution pay-per-view. When it is, I have no idea. But Yeah, it looks like we've got another big match. Surely, Adam Page is due a win, but who knows? Maybe not. Maybe not. Then we went to the main event. Title threat match. Toni Storm, Britt Baker, and Ruby Soho. So it's very strange. There's a spot in the match. So we all know that Storm and Saraya have been like spray painting loser on people. So there's a spot where Britt Baker is in the corner. She's like lying down in the corner. She's like ready for like the Rikishi ass plant kind of, you know, the what did Rikishi call that? The stink face, yeah. So she's sitting in the stink face position, and then Saraya gets in. She spray paints Toni Storm's ass with the spray paint, and then Toni Storm goes over and basically running hits Britt Baker with her ass and gets her ass in her face and kind of like robs the spray paint from her ass onto Britt Baker's face. And it was like, I mean, this was very strange. I mean, they all talk about, oh, we want to be empowered, we want women's wrestling. Wasn't this like sexualizing women here? You literally have Toni Storm spray painting her ass just so she can rub it on Britt Baker's face. It's like, if they'd done this in WWE, man, they'd all be complaining, they'd all be coming after McMahon with pitchforks. But do it in AEW and it's the greatest thing ever, because Tony Khan's a great guy who gives women equality, even though you watch this show and he clearly doesn't. And I'm not complaining, because the women don't deserve equality, because they fucking suck when it comes to wrestling, but still, I thought this was very, very strange. Anyway, Ruby Soho drop kicks Toni Storm at the ring. Then she rolls up Britt Baker, gets the 1, 2, 3. That's all fine in the hood. And then after the match, Saraya gets in, Jamie Hayter gets in. They both look at Ruby Soho. They're both arguing at Ruby Soho. Then Ruby Soho is like saying something back. She's kind of like not trying to look at either of them. She's trying to like not acknowledge either of them. It was like weird. She doesn't want to make eye contact with them or some shit like that. And then the show just ends. It was like, what the fuck was this? So you had Saraya in her, like, speaking into her left ear. You had Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter speaking into her left ear, Saraya into her right ear, and then that was kind of it. The show just finished with Ruby Soho standing in the ring. How can your main show finish with Ruby fucking Soho standing there, you know, as the main attraction? This was shit, man. This was really, really bad, guys. I'm going to give Dynamite... I'll give it a 1 out of 10, because I'm glad Christian's back. So there you go, guys, a 1 out of 10. Hopefully I'm feeling better for the next review. Till then, though, peace.